but it was so bright. One of those crisp, clear, bright days that belie the fact that it's cold as hell. It was cold as hell. And we were going to the hardware store in that old army Jeep they used to have. It didn't even have real windows, but the heater actually worked pretty well. I remember very distinctly us talking about how toasty we were in there. Toasty. Yeah, that was a Steve word.
Sorry, where's this going?
Oh, there's a point.
Can we get to it? Because I'm really busy and Eddie, whatever he told you the conditions were, those are the conditions he's in charge, and I can't change that.
Anyway, a couple of minutes down the road, we saw a man, a middle-aged man up ahead on the road, walking on the shoulder, hat on, all bundled up, but he was freezing his ass off. I mean, how could he not be? It was 9 degrees outside. He didn't look up at us when we passed him. He was just going where he was going. But then Steve slowed down, pulled over, and asked him if he needed a lift. So Steve told me to climb into the back. Man got in, and off we went. He was on his way to work, and he kept his hands in front of the heater vents the entire time. And they made small talk, but not much was said. And when we got to his restaurant, he was incredibly gracious and thankful, and Steve said it was no trouble, you know, happy we could help, that sort of thing. And we drove off feeling good about ourselves, or at least, well, I felt good about ourselves. Well, not 5 minutes later.
Okay, Mr. Roberts, I have to ask you to wrap it up.
No, we're almost there. So, not 5 minutes later, we started hearing this, ka-tum, 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 and then the engine dies completely. Right? We can coast to the side of the road, but the Jeep's dead. It's dead. Never to be resurrected. And when you know it, now we're the ones bundled up, hands in pockets, freezing our asses off, walking on the side of the road.
This is a very sweet tale, but it's really long, and I have a life that's getting shorter.
And Steve's got a great attitude about it, but I'm less cheery. I'm 10. I'm kind of pouty. But after about 5 minutes, literally, the very first car that passes pulls over and asks if we need a lift. A nice older woman in a white Mercedes. Steve sat up front with her, and small talked a little bit as she drove us home, but never saying one thing about the roles being reversed. 10 minutes earlier, not one word. I remember her making some reference to me as Steve's son, and him not correcting her, which at the time that made me feel good. But then she dropped us off back at the compound, and we were incredibly gracious and thankful, and she said it was no problem, and we said our goodbyes, and she drove off feeling good about herself, I'm sure.
Okay, I don't get it. Just help me here.
Who would? I did ask him later that night when we were in our sleeping bag, and he said that was our experience. Shared with that man, just the three of us.
Wait, did you just say when we were in our sleeping bag?
I did.
So you're trying to tell me
that Steve was an exceptional man. He taught me many, many things. And we also often slept in the same sleeping bag, yeah. Till I was about 16.
You're accusing Stephen Meyer of molesting you.
Accusing? Molesting? Neither of those words feel quite right. But, yeah.
You're fucking lying. You're just trying to blackmail me with your lies.
I visited Steve when he was sick. He insisted on giving me a box of letters that we wrote to each other over the years. But I didn't, no, I couldn't look through it until recently. I didn't go to Eddie with any of this because he's a good soul and he'd do the right thing. Yeah, not bury this like everyone else in his position would. Oh, no, not him. No, he'd hang a lantern on it. He'd take this tragic situation out of the shadows and into the light. And that would, of course, absolutely destroy the movement forever. You know that. Catholics can figure out a way to justify some priests being pedophiles, which is pathetic and horrible and whatever. But if Jesus himself was proven to be that breed of monster, it'd probably be a deal breaker.
What do you want?
I want what I had. He can be the good Jesus. I just want to be the CEO. I want to be out in front speaking for the movement.
Oh, I don't know how to make that happen.
I don't know either.
Why? Why would you want to be here if that horrible stuff happened to you?
Because it's cold out there, Vera. It's toasty in the light.